Now we're on YouTube. Okay. Tuesday, November 26th. Almost 7 in the morning, and it's pretty cool outside. George is in. James is in. Brittany, Sharon. Good morning to all of y'all. Okay, so yesterday we got the order in of the 800 helmets for the kids, and they're now over in our warehouse. We've still got 200 more coming. So in other words, the nonprofit bought 1,000 helmets, and we bought 700 bicycles of all sizes. So what we need, we can always use bicycles. Don't worry about helmets. I got 100 here in the museum, I would suspect. We'll have plenty of helmets. Bobby's in. Good morning. Toys. We need toys. 2,500 toys. We're going to make this the biggest and best giveaway that I've ever done, or that we've ever done. So that's what I need y'all to help us with. We also need to make sure we've got over 100 volunteers. We need volunteers. I don't have a count of how many. We probably always have 40 or 50, so we need to double that. So if you've got a friend, if you know somebody, get them to come in and let's get this thing going, kick it off. We've got the Silver Sisters will be there helping passing out stuff. I need to check with that nurses group and see if they're going to be there. Good morning, Tom Reynolds. But Santa Claus will be there. In fact, somebody had asked about, I'm a Santa Claus too. Hey, I don't have any problem. We can have 2 Santa Clauses. But it's up to us to try to help these kiddos out that are in Tarrant County. Because, just to be honest, there's some of these families that just, y'all can imagine, with the price of everything, goods, gasoline, apartments, houses, whatever, it's all way up. And so we have to pitch in. That's the way y'all do it as a family. Well, we're just a big family. And that's what Memories does, our group. That's what we're about. We've always done this. The COVID year, we had 9 drives. We did everything from diapers to bikes, toilet paper, paper towels, water. School books, backpack deal. We had 9 drives, and y'all rose to the occasion every time. Well, I'm asking for your help again. Take $50 and go to Five and Below and buy 10 soccer balls or 10 basketballs and bring them over here. We're counting the days down now, so hold on. Brittany, where's she at? She's at 7 bikes and 37 toys. Is that right? Hold on while I guess, yeah, Brittany's in. I've got her down as 7 bikes and 37 toys. This group from Cleburne, we really appreciate y'all's help. Brittany is going through her notes. Anyway, so we just need to make sure that we do our part to help out some needy families. 1,200 of them or more. Well, while I'm waiting on that, today is not a question. I need to clarify. One of them is a question. So I don't have. So they can't. They're doing this one for freebie. That's fine. What's the clarification you want? A couple of weeks ago, you talked about 2 abolitionists that were hung in Fort Worth. Yes. What do you want, Claire? I mean, what is... Anthony Bewley? Okay. You can write your other question. I'll straighten out what you're... Anthony Bewley was an abolitionist that was born in 1804 in Tennessee, I believe is where he's from. Anyway, he came to South Texas, lived there for a while in 1859, I believe. 1860, he came to Fort Worth. And there's another guy named Crawford that they both got hung from the same tree that was basically at Jacksboro Highway and White Settlement Road. That intersection is where it was a pecan tree. Anthony Bewley was a minister. He was a Methodist Episcopal church. Or any church. As he traveled, I guess he'd be like a traveling preacher. Oh, Scott's, I was going to say the YouTube deal's going crazy. Anyway, they came here. And so the citizens of Fort Worth, not all the citizens, but a large group, in my opinion, they perpetrated a letter that Anthony Bewley wrote, and it was published in the papers here. There was a newspaper back then, was just a one-page affair, and there were several of them. So they posted, or they printed, put in this newspaper, a letter, pro-abolitionist letter. It was several paragraphs. I've actually got a copy of it somewhere. They were left to hang. They both fled. They found out that when the newspaper came out with this letter, they both left to get out of town. A group of vigilantes from Fort Worth chased down Reverend Anthony Bewley, and Crawford was caught somewhere in Missouri, I think, and was brought back down here. And they left him hanging. Back in those days, in the early, mid-1800s, not just Fort Worth, but most southern towns, they would, as a reminder to people, they would leave bodies hanging on a tree for days. Now, what made it so bad in this instance is they buried Reverend Bewley in a shallow grave. His bones were visible. About a day or two later, they gathered up the bones and put them on top of a general store they'd fall off the roof, and then the kids would play with them and rearrange a skeleton. That's sick. So I imagine you can Google Anthony Bewley or check a search engine. I've been interviewed by people that are writing books about different hangings in Fort Worth, and that's probably the most kind of gruesome, you know. Okay, so that satisfies that. Hold on. George is in, Paul's in. Brittany, I've got her down at 7 bikes and 37 toys, but she's not this. Here's the question. June 6th, 1849, a letter was written. Imagine there was a lot of letters written. You're probably referring to the letter that was written June 6th. Was it June 6th? Yeah, June 6th, 1849. It was not written on June 6th. It was written on June 9th. I think what you're talking about is the letter Major Ripley Arnold wrote to an adjutant general of the United States, Roger Jones. On June the 6th of 1849, Major Ripley Arnold, the 2nd Dragoons, Company F, came into town up on the bluff and planted a flag with 30 stars on it. They had traveled from Fort Graham. They covered 53 or 54 miles in 2 days. He rode them pretty hard. They were exhausted, and they ended up, if you know where Pioneer Rest Cemetery is, that's where they found shade. There was a lot of shade trees there. And the spring from the Trinity, the water was always cold. That's the same water that fills up, what's the name? Burgers Lake. It always comes in at 65 degrees. So that water was basically 65 degrees. It's been that way forever. And so they camped there and just slept. So then on the 9th, really on the 8th or 7th, I guess maybe the 7th, they started assembling, cutting trees for logs and trying to make Camp Worth. That's what it was called back then. And he only had like 47 or 48 men in Company F. So he wrote to this Adjutant General of the United States, Roger Jones, and basically ranted for about 10 paragraphs about how horrible it was here, and he didn't have enough men, and yada, yada, yada. And guess what? They didn't send him any men. They got a message back to him. Horseback was the only way you had messages delivered then. Basically saying you can either do the job or we'll send somebody, your replacement. And so Arnold then figured out that they were going to have to do it all on their own. But it ended up that people that had been here, Press Farmer, who is considered the first Fort Worth resident, Press and his wife had a general store here up on the bluff. They all went on the bluff because you could see the Indians coming. It was the highest point in Fort Worth at that time. So they would be up there, and if the Indians started coming, they could make whatever plan they were going to do. In fact, I was doing a history lesson on YouTube the other day, and the question was asked, who manned the watch later in the evening? somebody in the family stay up? No. They used chickens, anything like that, dogs, chickens, that would alert when somebody's coming. And the Indians were quiet, but they weren't quiet enough to not be detected by animals. So, but anyway, a lot of the then people that were around in this area, they rode from 40, 50 miles away to help so they could get Camp Worth established. And so that's the story of, I guess that's the letter you're talking about. I wouldn't know about any personal letters because I've never read them. If I've read them or seen them, I can recall it. But so that's the only letter I know of that was on or about June 8th or 9th of 1849. Okay, back to business. So we got George is in. Good morning. So we need toys. We need toys, and you can still buy bikes, but we're going to come in with plenty of bikes. Somebody asked me yesterday, how many bikes do we have? 850. And we've got 20 or so to be built here, or maybe more than 20. No, December 14th is when. Oh, what time do you need? Volunteers need to be there by 6 a.m. You don't have to worry about getting there before anybody else because we'll have police presence from December 13th. The line will actually start on Friday evening. It always does. And I anticipate that line. We can snake cars around. In fact, I talked to Kyle yesterday and we were trying to figure out how we were going to do it. One of our sponsors owns Site Barricades, or I'd heard he just sold it. But he provides those barricades, the longer ones, the white ones. So we're going to have to set up, I'm going to message him today, Jeff Schusler. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to do it, but the line will probably go down Lancaster, that's the side street, and then, I don't know, it's going to go down University or up all the way to Camp Bowie, but it'll be a mess. It'll be a mess for sure. So I will reach out to Manny Ramirez today, too, to make sure that everybody's aware of that. One thing that you can do, people, we kind of decided at lunch last Saturday a good food to snack on or eat for the volunteers would be tamales because they're hot. So if some of y'all that are planning on bringing something, kolaches are good too. I don't know how big the donut deal will go. We're now with this new administration and RFK Jr. and our own Dr. B. I don't know if all of y'all have heard that, but Dr. B's job in the new administration is to be the spokesperson for the Health and Human Sources cabinet with Congress. He's the guy that's going to get the money. Dr. B will be the spokesperson. So I don't know when he's leaving for D.C., but he's leaving. So we've got Dr. B, Brooke, our own Brooke Rollins, who will be at the giveaway. Her job is she'll be the boss of over 100,000 employees. I had no idea the agricultural department has an office in every county in the United States. So I guess, I don't know how many that is, but there will be 100,000 employees under Brooke. She's got a huge budget. Then we've got Pete Hegseth, who's been here twice, and then once over at Old South. So we've got a connection to the West Wing. anyway, if anybody knows of a family, a couple of families that are really struggling, direct message me. We've got a secret Santa that wants to help. Randy and Cody are in. B.R. Burford, Israel. Okay, let me do the sponsors. And we've got a new sponsor, Fast and Friendly Towing and Recovery Service. A longtime friend of mine, 30 years. That's his company. And yeah, Campos. Hold on just a second. Getting a message here from Raymond Campos is his name. And in fact, I'm going to interview his, I guess the dispatcher. She'll be here. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Scott tried to call. I guess I had the phone on silent. Sorry about that. I guess I had the phone on silent.
No worries.
Hey, anybody that gets orders in for the 2024 Christmas ornaments, are they still good before Christmas?
Yes, I think the 15th is going to be our cutoff.
15th of December. So I'll post that video of the Christmas ornaments. They're really snazzy. Here I've got, Scott made a set for our tree when it gets here. The Optimist Club of Fort Worth provides us with a tree every year for the museum. And speaking of the museum, we need donations for the museum to keep going. So this year's ornament is like a subway car. See in the front it says TC, that's Tandy. And it comes in several colors. Boy, here's a pretty blue. Look at that. So you keeping Fort Worth themed for your tree. That's what, black? Here's a clear one. Those are pretty neat. Scott always builds these. There's one, I guess that's orangey or tangerine. I'm partially colorblind of all the things. This one is clear. Here's a real pretty green one. And they got a little deal there to put a hook on. And here's one, I call it Brandywine. I don't know what it is. So they're $10 a piece, and I think Scott said if you buy more than two, he knocks $1 off. So that way you keep Fort Worth themed on your Christmas tree. There's Terry Adcock. So y'all get your orders in, just contact Scott. He builds them, he does it every year, and he does a lot more than that. He does a lot for our group. So let me run off these sponsors. We never have been able to get a florist. I don't understand it. Where are we? start at the first of the alphabet. A-Bird Air Conditioning and Heating is Dub Peacock's company. A-Bird AC and Heating. So with the cold weather getting here, you gotta get your unit checked out, but they can come out and do it. Burt Ladner Real Estate, Wes Williams is associated with that group. Steve Coburn's Catering. They've been catering stuff for I don't know how many years. Dickey Carr Sand and Gravel, and it's Pat and Richard Carr. Great sponsors. They made a huge donation to Larry's Kids. They do a lot of stuff for the community. Eric and Dick Regester and Eric. Eric is the operating partner of Express Dent. So if you got door dings, hail damage, whatever, they're the best in town. Fort Worth High Tech Signs, Jeff Jones. You need any kind of signs made or whatever, and he has a graphics artist person on his staff there. Fort Worth Lumber Company, Emily and her company has been sponsors of Fort Worth Memories for years and years, and they've also they contribute every year to Larry's Kids. Cross Electric, if you need an electrician, call them. They'll get somebody right out there. David Hart Painting. David and his wife, they do a lot of civic and community events. When Pioneer Rest Cemetery needed some help with getting a shed painted before they had a mural put on it or painted on it, David and he and his wife, they stepped up and had their employees go out there, and they swallowed the bullet on that. So it was no cost to the cemetery. Jenny Stewart, who is our State Farm rep, she's been a sponsor for many years. K-Ranch Roofing, Jorge and Bree, if you need your roof checked, don't go get a ladder and get up there and think, well, I'll see what it looks like, because number one, you probably wouldn't know if it's damaged or not. Call K-Ranch Roofing. They're going to come out and have it checked for you, and there's no charge. Old South Pancake House, a Rex Benson owned company. In fact, Old South has been in the Benson family since 1962. The Optimist Club of Fort Worth. They, like I said earlier, they provide us a tree for our museum every year at no charge. And it's on the front side of Farrington Field, on the university side. The giveaway is on the back side. Usually by the giveaway, and I don't know about this year, but usually they're pretty much wrapped up by December, the middle of December. Passport Getaways. If you're planning a trip or want to plan a trip, a cruise, airplane tickets, whatever, those are the folks to use. Railhead Barbecue. What can I say? Charlie Guerin does so much for Fort Worth and so much for our efforts that we do with Larry's Kids and this group. Now, if you want to find your sponsors, go to fortworthmemories.com and you can go to the 3 bars on the side, and there's a place for sponsors, and it has all of these sponsors. Okay. Moving along. Rains Plumbing. Rains Plumbing is a family-owned business. They homegrown here, and I've had several good reviews from our members. So when you need a plumber, call Rains Plumbing. Rex Benson again. Rex's Bar and Grill. Rex, when Macaroni Grill over here on University next door to Old South Pancake House, Rex stepped up and he is opening a sports bar over there. It's going to be a huge deal, a neat deal. So we're going to have events there. Swartz and Hanson Architects, Jerry Swartz. They're great sponsors and have been for years, and Give to the Bike giveaway every year. Techstar Pools. They'll build you a new pool. You can remodel the pool you got. You can do the area around it. In fact, it's called Techstar Pools Landscape and Beyond. And Clay Winstead, Paint and Body. I've been using Winstead probably before Clay took it over. It's been around forever. They're over there on White Settlement Road. Okay, so we've got a lot of people that are involved in our giveaway this year, and I appreciate all of you. And with Scott, if you need, I had a guy call me, I guess yesterday evening or maybe the day before. Does Scott build websites? Yes, he does. All you got to do is just direct message him and leave your phone number, and he'll call you back. If you got problems with computer or stuff, I don't know how many problems we've had. Of course, we've got several groups. There's, I don't know how many platforms we've got, and YouTube and everything else we do. There's about 190,000 active members on our stuff, and Scott somehow keeps all of that running. It's amazing. So if you need a website done, or if you've got issues with your deal, give it to Scott. He can take care of it. What else do we? All of our sponsors, I always encourage y'all to be at the giveaway, be at all the events that we do, the birthday party, the giveaway. That way you get to meet other sponsors and members. And this year on the giveaway, we're going to have lots of folks there. Hopefully, well, I know we got Betsy Price, Maddie Parker, and I think Mike Moncrief is going to be able to attend. Several city council members, civic leaders in the community. I believe Kathleen Hicks told me she was going to show up. And usually our civic leaders, they're not there for a photo op. They're there to work. They help give it out. With all the bikes and stuff we're giving away this year, it'll be, the gates will open at 6:30 in the morning. Hopefully we'll be done by 10:30 because we're going to have 4 lines. So we need lots of help, people. And keep in mind, if you want to do something a little extra, bring a couple of dozen tamales. I don't know how we'll keep them warm, but we're going to have power because that field house will be open to us. So I'll get with Sherry Holt and some others that always, Sandy, with the Silver Sisters. We'll figure out how that's going to work. Or you can bring kolaches, donuts, whatever you want to bring. And I guess that's all. Scott, you got anything you want to?
I guess the store is ready for Thanksgiving. I think you covered everything else.
Scott is a member of the church, the Wedgwood Church. How many years ago has that shooting been?
25.
This year, 25?
Mm-hmm.
What day was that on? Where month?
September 18th.
September 18th. Y'all all remember that. How many people were shot and killed?
8 killed and 8 wounded.
And then the shooter, did he kill himself or did somebody kill him?
No, he committed suicide.
And y'all have never figured out why he picked your church?
No, they found a flyer there was an event happening. They found a flyer for the event in his car, but how he found us, who knows?
What a nut. Was he from Fort Worth?
No, I think, I'm not sure.
Let's research that sometime, just for my own curiosity. Back in where Fred's Texas is now, that used to be Steak and Ale out on Highway 80 West, there was 2 or 3 guys that escaped a prison in Colorado. Somehow they ended up there. right at closing, the waitress said, "You know, guys, we don't have time to cook a steak. Sorry, can we get you something to drink or something?" There was people in there eating, so there was a lot of people with the employees and stuff, and they pulled their guns out, and they said, "This is a robbery." The manager convinced them. He said, "Hey, I've got the combination to the safe. I'm the only person you need. Let everybody else go, please." They did. The parking lot was surrounded with Fort Worth police. I don't know how these guys thought they could ever get out of there. And the manager tried to break away, and he shot the escapee, shot and killed the manager, and then they didn't kill him. One of them has been tried. The other one, they're saying he has mental illness. Well, what does that mean? But I had told Quincy when they were getting ready, when they were remodeling it, I said, every year on that anniversary, y'all will come to work and there'll be a lot of flowers. I don't know if they still do it. And he said, from what? And I said, people remembering that manager because he saved their lives. We live in a horrible world. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. I got a car to finish today. Tomorrow won't be doing a lot. Hours will be probably 1 o'clock or so. Friday I'll be here probably 8 to 1. Saturday we're not having a lunch club meeting because y'all will be doing stuff, still eating turkey and all of that. Now next Saturday we will have a lunch club meeting, and then the following Saturday will be the event. So if you go outside, dress warm, and see y'all later. Scott, you going to sign us off of YouTube?
Yeah, I'll sign off.
Okay. Talk to y'all.